What is up? So I wanted to do a review of another quad. Yes, that's right, I bought another quad. So I bought this one mainly for one feature. This is the X8HC, and I bought this quad mainly because it has an auto hover feature. Auto hover. Unfortunately, the auto hover feature doesn't work on my drone. So I think it's something wrong with the actual drone itself. Other than that, it flies very well as soon as you get it up and you're in mode 1 though, and I don't know if I'm in the wrong mode, it could just be me. If you're flying, which I fly in mode 1 because it's harder to fly in mode 2, when I let off the throttle stick and it resets to the center position, the drone descends to the ground and basically bounces a couple inches off the ground. So it just doesn't work. Other than that, it flies very well. It's a very good size drone, and that's another reason why I bought it. It wasn't the fact that it just had the auto hover, it's a larger drone, and I'm learning to manually fly these over buying like a Phantom that has a lot of the GPS assist on it, mainly because if something happens to the GPS assist on these larger quads, if you can't fly it manually, how are you going to land it? You know. So I bought this this Cheerston that has a lot of GPS functions in it, and autonomous flight, lots of different stuff. The problem is if something happens and I got to go to manual mode, I'll be screwed and I'll put that thing into the ground. So I bought the smaller quad, a smaller Sema. This is the smaller one I bought, and I flew this one for a long time, and it's actually a pretty good quadcopter. If somebody wants one of these, they're very good. But and you can buy parts for that really cheap, really. I think I've replaced the gyros on this thing like maybe about 5 times. But that's one thing you're going to be doing is replacing parts, because if you bounce it off the ground a couple times, it's done. I've bounced this a couple different times. I've crashed it probably maybe 5 or 6 times already, and that's what you do when you're learning to fly manually. So other than that, the fact that the auto hover doesn't work on this, or that I just don't know what I'm doing and I'm in the wrong mode or something, I don't know. I tried it in mode 2, but it's really hard to fly. So I kept it in mode 1, doesn't auto hover, can't figure out how to do it. Everything else works. The camera on this quad, if this is not the Wi-Fi version, but it's I didn't buy the Wi-Fi version because I had an idea of what the camera footage was going to be like, even though everybody online has these great, oh, this is the camera footage, and it's not the camera footage that comes with this, because this camera footage is comparable to this camera footage, and anybody that's seen one of these, the camera footage is horrible. This camera sucks, and they say it's HD. It's not HD. The landing gear on this is really flimsy, so one thing I thought was that it was just going to snap, but being that the landing gear is so flimsy, it basically can take a pretty good hit. So if you're landing hard, it actually won't break the landing gear, which is very cool. The only thing other than that I thought was kind of goofy was the blade guards. I think the blade guard should have been lower on this, mainly because let's see here, one of the blades, right here, this blade, the end of it is actually bent, it's nubbed on the end. Mainly how that happens is the guard will actually bend forward and the blade will actually slam into the side of the guard, and it can bend the blade. So that's how the blades get nicked on the sides. And I know that the blades aren't expensive. You can buy a freaking an 8-pack, I think, for like maybe $8 or something like that. You know, so they're about $1 a piece, which is not bad on eBay. You'll probably be able to get them cheaper than that later. Other than that, the battery door on this, it's kind of cheaper hinges, but the actual battery compartment held a lot better than I thought it would. It's actually pretty tough, so I thought I would end up having to put something on there like tape, because I figured it was going to be a lot cheaper than I thought. It was going to be a lot more kind of rickety and cheaper than it was actually really built. Even when I got out of the box, I was like, oh, it's actually not that bad. So for under $100, because that's what I got it for on eBay. It's definitely, it's not that bad. And I got it, it was never open, it was completely sealed when I got it. I bought it from a factory, so it's not like somebody freaking tried to rip me off or anything. It's just the auto hover barometer that is built into this doesn't work. Who knows? But I think that's how it works. I think this one has a barometer, and it's definitely not GPS enabled, so it doesn't have any kind of GPS stuff. There's a lot of mods you can do to these things too, which is very interesting. Another thing is it is a large quadcopter if you look at it. I mean, compared to the 5, you know, it's pretty big. But if you compare it to even the Cheerston, it's still a freaking pretty large quad. So yeah, definitely not bad. So if you're learning how to fly, definitely if you're going to put this into the ground, I would rather put under $100 into the ground than to put $200 and something into the ground, not including your camera and gimbals and all that stuff. So yeah, really nice quad though. It flies really well. The footage is horrible. I may upload a different video of the footage. I might put it at the end of the video, who knows. We'll see, but yeah, video footage is pretty much trash at best. But that's my review of the quad. It flies very well. It's really easy to fly. It takes off very well. It's easy to put together. The instructions are kind of weird when it comes to the blades. So of course I put the blades on backwards the first time, and then it just sits on the ground, doesn't fly. So if you put it together and it won't take off, your blades are on backwards, meaning they're in the wrong place. So make sure you look at the box and see how the blades are put on. That's the easiest way to get past that. Alright, well, you guys take it easy.